9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. This is Madam Elite, the Timeless Elite, your PR princess. Everything you need to know, things all elite, and Stone Cold Courtney is with you on this Wednesday. Excuse the tardiness because it looks like we got some mayhem happening in AEW Dynamite. Of course, you know, we're kicking off the show. They're in Atlanta, Georgia, and we're kicking off with a lot of mayhem happening between Rated FTR and Jay White and every single member of the Death Riders. So, of course, it's going to probably have chaos in between. So, it's coming to you from Atlanta. Of course, we got a stacked card tonight. Obviously, of course, we have Ricochet versus Swerve Strickland. We also have my client, the timeless one, Toni Storm, taking on Queen Amanada, and Mariah May is going to be on commentary. So it's going to be fun. Also, and I'm trying to skim through this, we also are going to have an international all-star tag team match. Brody King, Buddy Matthews taking on the AEW International Champion Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. We're also going to see Will Ospreay, I just love saying his last name, taking on a member of the Don Callis family. So we do not know who's that. And I know Don Callis has mentioned that. If you did watch Collision over the weekend, there is a 5th member. So we don't know who's that going to be. So Don Callis has some tricks up his sleeves. We're also going to hear from MJF, Hangman Adam Page, of course, Rated FTR, as you see in the ring. And we're also going to hear from the Hurt Syndicate, the new AEW Tag Team Champions. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to do. But yeah, it's pretty much chaos and mayhem happening right now. So I'm happy to be with you on a Wednesday. It's just pretty much chaos. Your client. She is funny. That's my client. That's the woman that got me into AEW. Hi, Lewis. So happy to see all of you. I saw clips because it was on the same time as Royal Rumble. Thanks for clarifying that it's a 5th member join the family. Yes, Boza. We don't know. And God knows who Don Callis has up his sleeve. So I call him a creep, I call him a jerk, but he's a master, he's a person with a plan. So I don't know what's he gonna do. And sorry, I'm looking at this chaos and mayhem. We see Adam Copeland spearing Claudio Castagnoli. And if you also know from Collision over the weekend, because everybody was watching the Royal Rumble, Adam Copeland put out a challenge to Jon Moxley, challenging him for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship at Revolution. But it's not official yet. Copeland put out the challenge. Hopefully, we can get it official between now and Collision. Oh, so Copeland's talking right now. He's still waiting for his answer. He's still putting out the challenge. Let's see. Is he going to put out the challenge? Moxley's coming back into the ring. He's got the mic in his hand. And of course he said no. But knowing Adam Copeland, he's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve. Oh, Jay White's putting out the gauntlet. So it looks like there has been a challenge made at Grand Slam. Switchblade Jay White, Adam Copeland taking on Claudio Castagnoli and Jon Moxley in Australia. Well, considering, as our producer from the future mentioned, Jay White lives in New Zealand, but he is Australian. So they have to fill up some matches with Grand Slam because they only have 2 announced. So I think tonight there'll probably be more matches between tonight and Saturday in Collision. But we are on the road to Grand Slam, on the road to Revolution. There's a lot of things happening. But I am excited to be with all of you. I am very happy Jay White's going to be in the picture. And also, as we mentioned, Austin and Colton Gunn are supposed to be coming back because they had some injuries. We know Juice Robinson is out. So I actually do like this scenario. John is scared that the roster is standing up to him. This whole Death Riders is just aroused because John is scared. Well, that is true because if you remembered, when they try to first start it, they try to get like some guys you won't see on TV on a weekly basis, like the Dark Order, Top Flight, Private Party, like, you know, some guys you don't see on a weekly basis that are not over with the fans. But I think since some fans are familiar with like FTR, Adam Copeland, and Jay White, I think you see a lot of stars, like top tier stars, are really starting to face him because when this first started, like almost every single top tier stars was in a feud with somebody. I mean, Swerve, he was feuding with the Hurt Syndicate. Will Ospreay had to deal with the Don Callis family. Darby, he was standing up, but he also had other things. Of course, my client, Freshly Squeezed, Orange Cassidy couldn't do it alone. So there's also, they confirmed Swerve versus Ricochet as our main event tonight. Boza, thank you for that, because I would be very upset if it was not the main event. And also looking at what's happening at Collision over the weekend, Buddy Matthews wants to challenge Kazuchika Okada for the Continental Championship. And, ooh, it's official. We got another match added to Grand Slam. Buddy Matthews taking on the Kazuchika Okada for the AEW Continental Championship. Can you imagine if Buddy Matthews wins in his home country? That would be insanity. And I'm all in for it because, no offense, like, Okada needs to drop the ball. If they want to make Okada versus Kenny Omega a marquee match at All In Texas, Okada needs to drop the belt. He doesn't need the belt to stay relevant. I would be okay with Buddy winning it, but that's just me. Anyways, we get to see Mr. Will Ospreay. I just love saying his last name, Ospreay. And he has a killer theme song. I mean, how can you not like Will Ospreay's theme song? It's pretty cool. So this will be very fun. I don't know who Don Callis has up his sleeve, but it's got to be somebody. And also, if you catch on my WWT Live at the top of the hour, our very own professor is at AEW Dynamite in Atlanta. So if you're in Atlanta and if you're at the show, make sure you say hello to him. So he's at the show. But hopefully you guys caught WWT Live earlier today. It was a very, very fun show. We had Jacob, my WWT sister Honey led the charge. We had our wonderful councilman who's still under the weather. But it's always a fun time. And I get excited because, you know, Wednesdays, it's Dynamite. I mean, come on. AEW Dynamite coming to you from Atlanta. Will Ospreay does have a killer theme song. It's just so affectionate. And it will air coast to coast following coverage of All-Star Skills Challenge, 10 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for that, Boza. Hello, Junk Punch Hero, Archer, or somebody new. Well, Archer would have been too obvious, but I think it's somebody new. But let's hear from this creep Don Callis on who he has. So he has the floor. They're pretty much saying F Don Callis. Mark Davis. This is really odd because didn't we see him fighting alongside Powerhouse Hobbs, Will Ospreay, and Ricochet taking on the Don Callis family? This is really interesting. Okay, I mean, I guess he has to be the fifth member of the Don Callis family. Is Don Callis trying to bring everybody from Will Ospreay's past? Well, interesting. We just saw him standing alongside Will Ospreay. This is random, seriously. I know, but exactly like this seems very odd because I thought at least if you're gonna go down Will Ospreay's past, that's really interesting. Huh. I mean, it's a weird setting, but okay, we'll see how this goes. But kicking it off, if you are jumping ahead, we're kicking off with the first match. Will Ospreay versus Mark Davis. And apparently he's the newest member of the Don Callis family. So this should be a good match from the Mr. Aerial Assassin. I must be a few ahead. I will refrain from spoilers in the future. Thank you, Junk Punch Hero. I do appreciate that because here at WWT Live, if you give any spoilers, we will delete you. We don't like spoilers. We don't like to be surprised or anything. We want to watch it. We want to experience it. And we want to enjoy it. So I appreciate you for that. So if you're here with me, this is Courtney Rice, WWT's PR Princess. Everything you need to know about All Elite, the Timeless Elite, Stone Cold Courtney, whatever you want to call me. This is really fun. Coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia for AEW Dynamite tonight. We already know what the main event is, thanks to our correspondent Boza. Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet. I was actually looking at Swerve's Instagram and he did some media tour. He did some media tour in there. So I think that's really awesome to do. I just wish it was publicized on AEW's social pages and everything else because that's really cool for some stars to really get in the fray. But I'm really happy Swerve actually did some type of media tour ahead of Atlanta. So I give him kudos to that. We got some pretty good ones. We're going to hear from MJF, Hangman Adam Page. We also, as I mentioned, an international tag team match. Brody King, Buddy Matthews taking on Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita. We also have my client, the timeless one, Tony Storm, taking on Queen Amanada with Mariah May being on commentary. So we definitely have some good stuff happening right now. If you did miss at the top of the hour, it was pretty much mayhem. Switchblade, Jay White, and Rated FTR just cleaning house against the Death Riders. We also have another match added to Grand Slam Australia. Buddy Matthews taking on Kazuchika Okada for the AEW Continental Championship. But it's 17 minutes after 8 and we're just getting started. So, kicking off with the Aerial Assassin, Mr. Will Ospreay, taking on Mark Davis, the newest member of, I would think, supposedly of the Don Callis family. So, we shall see on that. Kind of makes sense for Davis. He's kind of spinning in mud since returning. Yeah, because we did, as I mentioned, we did see him alongside Will Ospreay. But I guess it makes it really much sense. I don't know. but that creep will have a busy Australia. He has to deal with Julia Hart's man, funny bet. Oh yeah, that is true. That is true. Mr. Don Callis, he's gonna be a busy man. And look at Will Ospreay. Is there anything that man can't do? It's just he just puts on match. He just puts on, as Sheamus would say, a banger after banger after banger of a match. And also, it's on commercial, but it's in picture, but the match is still going on live. So, and just a friendly reminder, even though with AEW Dynamite, it's not only airing on TBS, simulcast from Max as well. So just to give you a friendly reminder, it is streaming on Max. So just want to make sure that people have a friendly reminder, because a lot of people kind of are figuring out like, oh, it's on Max now. So just want to put in that friendly reminder. Balding Sting in the front row could be the real thing. Well, it's really interesting because I actually noticed this the last couple of weeks. This guy who dressed up as Sting has been in the front row the last couple of weeks. He was there last week in Alabama. I don't think I saw him at Collision, but I've been seeing him peek up on Dynamite the last couple of weeks, but I don't know. It's really interesting. Bossman has him busy. He was justifying earlier that Grand Slam was never to have been a pay-per-view. I'm sure the show would be good. The road to getting there unique. Went for the 50K. Yeah, I mean, because we talked about this a couple months ago. I'm really happy like AEW realized that they had to go to a smaller arena and not scrambling till the last minute. But I think somebody in their front office kind of realized like, we don't need to do it at big stadiums. We can do it at smaller stadiums. And it has worked because you can actually see, like if you're watching Dynamite right now, you can see that it's practically filled and the crowd is actually a lot more louder. And I can say this from personal experience since I've been to a Dynamite in Philadelphia at a smaller venue, and the crowd there was just absolutely nuts. So I'm very happy to see like they're at smaller venues, and it's really interesting to see the road to Grand Slam happening. I'm happy that they do have some of their stars that are originated from Australia are getting an opportunity to shine. So I love that. It makes me happy. I do believe Harley Cameron's going to have a match at Grand Slam Australia, and it will be against Mercedes Moné for the TBS Championship. And I said what I had to say. Hope Professor is having fun tonight. Maybe he can have stories for us from the show the next time. Yeah, I'm actually curious on how does he feel about going live on Dynamite, especially in Atlanta. I definitely want to get his thoughts on that and just seeing the look on his face, like everything. So I am super, super excited for him to experience AEW Dynamite live. I also encourage anybody, if you have Dynamite in your hometown state, go experience it. It's so fun. The fans are loud. It's crazy. But we are back live, and it's Will Ospreay taking on Mark Davis. So that's going to be fun. Oh, and of course, you got that creep, Don Callis, on commentary. I can't forget about Don. I cannot forget about Don Callis. But looking at this match, it looks like Mark Davis is starting to get the upper hand onto Mr. Will Ospreay. Look at it. The crowd is on their feet. Everybody's on their feet. The crowd is on their feet for Will. Ospreay knows how to draw the crowd. Everybody in the crowd is on their feet. Oh my goodness. How can you not like Will Ospreay? How can you not? Okay, let's see. Mark Davis trying to get some offense. Will Ospreay with the kick. Ooh, I thought it was 3, but it was a close one. Close one. And Don Callis was shaking on his boots. And the fans can't. They're booing his butt at the building. Well, Ospreay looks like he's trying to end it. He's going to end it here. Oof. Ooh, nasty clothesline by Mark Davis. Ooh, that was a nasty pile driver. Ooh, that was really close. That was really, really close. Mark Davis almost got the win. Almost got the win. Oh, looks like Mark Davis pulled off one of the turnbuckles, and it looks like I feel like this is more beyond the match. He wants to destroy Will Ospreay right before his tag team match at Grand Slam Australia. Ooh, nasty switchblade. Is this it? And your winner of the match, the aerial assassin, Will Ospreay. You got the win. Of course, Don Callis is speechless, but who cares about Don Callis? Will Ospreay is your winner, and that actually builds momentum going into Grand Slam next weekend. So congratulations to Will Ospreay on his match. Him and Kenny Omega taking on Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. And feel free to put in the chat on who do you think is going to win in that tag team match, because that tag team match is going to be fire. Love seeing that creep crying. Yeah, but I just love it that he always throws a temper tantrum. I always love that. Anytime he throws a temper tantrum, I am in it. Or he gets his butt kicked. That's the only 2 things I love about it. Well, hello, Mr. Seth freaking Rollins. Thank you for joining. And we're also going to hear from Mr. Will Ospreay. So let's hear what he has to say. Oh, look at this crowd going crazy for Kenny Omega. Oh, look at Don Callis. He's running. Yeah, you better run from Kenny Omega. I have to admit, Kenny Omega just has a charisma with the fans and just has an energy that brings it. But let's see what Kenny has to say, because he has a mic in his hand. And I know they're going to probably talk about their match ahead of next weekend in Australia. And Don Callis, he ran. He ran like a scared little puppy. So let's see what Kenny has to say. Oh, and speaking of that, here comes Kyle Fletcher and Takeshka. Don Callis is trying to hold them back. They don't want to wait till Australia. Well, folks, Kenny Omega, he had the interesting final words. Good night and good night. Bang. But that match is going to be fire. Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega had some words to say. Evil swerve. Kenny turns on Will, rejoins Callis to regain gold. Oh, that would be an interesting swerve right there. And also considering Kenny Omega is an EVP. Let's not forget about that. He's an EVP, by the way. That would be pretty interesting to see an evil swerve. I can get with that. I could get with that. That could be like a twist and turn. Because honestly, I hate to say this, I'm enjoying this storyline a lot more better than the Death Riders one. Low key. I think I'm enjoying this storyline a little bit better. But they are showing a promo for our main event tonight between Ricochet and Swerve Strickland. I have to say, this is also low key pretty fire too. I'm actually really enjoying this. And I'm curious on how this is going to end, considering Swerve has unfinished business with the Hurt Syndicate. So that's also going to be another layer to this story, because I know people think like Ricochet could be the fourth member of the Hurt Syndicate. And I just wish they would give him something other than scissors. Like, why are you taking my clients the Acclaimed signature weapon, scissors? Come on. I mean, I do like the development character of Ricochet, that he is starting to be a heel. He's starting to be a lot more dangerous. But yeah, so that match, I think that match is definitely gonna be fire. But there's a lot of layers to this, because like I said, Swerve still has unfinished business with the Hurt Syndicate. Also a lot of layers to this, but we shall see. Nothing low-key needed. Death Riders is pretty stale. I keep forgetting the trios titles exist. Yes, Junk Bike Hero. Yes, the Death Riders not only have the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, they also have the trios belts, which is very odd because they haven't defended them in a while. And there's a few trios out there that could take it. I mean, you know, given it's rated FTR, you also have the Undisputed Kingdom with Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. You also have Shane Taylor Productions, Daniel Garcia, Daddy Magic, and Cool Hand Ange. There's also a trio. So, yeah, I think trios division needs a little bit of fire in them, because who's going to take the belt off them? I'm not sure. So, but that needs a heavy uplifting as well, because there needs to be a lot of oomph into this. I know they tried to do it with when Top Flight was a trio, like you had Darius and Dante and Action Andretti along with members of the Dark Order, but I guess it didn't really connect with fans. But since like they are developing a lot more trios to some other stars that a lot of fans know, this could really give a shift. But I do think FTR probably will get the trios belt. It's just a matter of time of when. Because if Adam Copeland doesn't, well, if the match is official at Revolution between Moxley and Adam Copeland, and if Copeland doesn't win the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, I do see rated FTR getting a shot at those trios belts. But we shall see what the bossman says. But also, Adam Copeland's not going to take no for an answer. But we shall see what happens throughout the night. And thank you guys for joining me on a Wednesday. By the way, it's really nice of you. AEW Might's on commercials, so I'm going to do a quick commercial because feel free to check out some of our merch and one of our sponsors, All Caribbean Wrestling.
Hey, yo, you. Yeah, you that's watching this. You sitting on the couch staring at the screen not knowing what you want to do like this is an online college. Are you tired of wearing shirts that make you look like an extra stuck in catering? Do you want to step your wrestling swag game up to the next level? Then Women's Wrestling Talk has got you covered. Like literally. Are you for life in pink or black and white? Or maybe you're the EST and people need to respect you accordingly. Want to put some pride in your stride and show off the muscle in your hustle? Then make sure you check out the WWT store. Not now, but right now. Alright? What you waiting for? Head to www talkpodstore.com and don't make me fight you. Shit.
That's right. Don't make her fight you. And as I mentioned, we're kicking off with the Hurt Syndicate. your AEW Tag Team Champions. And I have to say, they've been getting a lot of good receptions. They're coming out with the suits, looking fly. People are chanting, "We hurt people." I know a lot of people are not happy with Private Party losing. But to be fair, the tag team division needed a heavy uplifting. And I'm very curious on how they're going to go. Oh, that's West Side Gun. He's sitting in the stands. And he also did the theme song for the Hurt Syndicate, FYI. So awesome to see West Side Gun. And if you did not know, he's a huge wrestling fan and he has a wrestling promotion happening. And I think I saw this because I know he's promoting a show that's happening soon. So feel free to follow him. Huge wrestling fan. It's always a treat to see some celebrities who are diehard wrestling fans, but definitely, I have to say, they're getting the more reception. So let's see what our new AEW Tag Team Champions have to say. Could it be? Who's stepping up to the challenge? Austin and Colton Gunn, they're back. And also remember, they are former AEW Tag Team Champions. But who am I to say? And my client, the Claim, gave them a nickname, but I'm not going to say it out loud. But Austin and Colton Gunn. Let's see what they have to say to the newly crowned AEW Tag Team Champions. I guess my client's influence has been there. So I guess next week we have a AEW tag team title match, the Hurt Syndicate against Austin and Colton Gunn. Every thinks he could trash talk with Bobby. Well, yeah, that is true, Boza. That is true. But they give it as long-term storyline because I could see them wiping off the floor of every single tag team match. I want to see how they do against a Cage of Agony. I want to see how they do against Archer and Lance Cage. I want to see how this goes because we're gonna have a conversation about this throughout the night. But speaking of that, Harley Cameron got her first win because they showed the highlights of Collision over the weekend. So, and here is our wonderful team. Harley Cameron with the puppet of Mercedes. I don't care what anybody says. That is a cute puppet version of Mercedes. That is kind of cute. I'm surprised Mercedes hasn't chuckled a bit. Oh, look who's back there. The TBS champ. I mean, hey, writing's on the wall. She's gonna have to respond sooner or later. She's gonna give her a match. Why you gotta mess with the puppet, Mercedes? That is just, you just had to go with the puppet. Hold on, I'm trying to find this clip. You just had to go with the puppet. This is what I think of you destroying a puppet.
You raggedy bitch. You raggedy bitch.
I mean, hey, sooner or later, she's going to have to respond to Harley. She got her first win over the weekend at Collision. I think she should get a shot for the TBS Championship at Grand Slam Australia. It ain't going to hurt. Mercedes is really scared of Harley. We all know she books her own stuff. She wants to lose to Harley. Actually, it's really interesting, Boza, because I was talking about this on WWT Live about this with my sister Honey on Harley Cameron. And there was an article that I read a couple months back that Mercedes actually does have high praise for Harley Cameron. She has noticed her improvement when it comes to wrestling. She has known that she's talented. So it's not like, off screen when the cameras are off. She has seen her train. She has seen improvement of hers. So she has been eyeing and respected Harley Cameron for a while. So I don't see why not. But I think it would be really good to see that. But she is watching. She has a chip on her shoulder, says Mercedes. 14 for 14 AEW. She really wants to be Jade Cargill's record, who won 58 matches for a loss. Well, yeah. For her record, which I don't know why. I mean, I wouldn't want to see Jade's record broken, but who am I to say? But we shall see on that. Trust me, It's gonna happen at Grand Slam. Harley Cameron's gonna be the new TBS champion. I don't care what the mayor has to say on his client. She's gonna get it. And whew, I'm trying to imagine the reception she gets in her home country. Hi, Danny Lombo. Thank you for joining. Do you think the blows they receive to the admin in fights are real? What do you think about this? Well, I mean, in professional wrestling, the blows and the fights and the bumps that they get are real. They are very, very real, and they do suffer a lot of injuries. So I just want to see that happen. I think that match will happen. Mercedes versus Harley. Love how we're getting there. No complaints. If there was a shock when Taya lost to Harley, imagine if Harley beats Mercedes, upset of the year. Exactly. And it's like, it's only February of 2025. So I do see that match happening. It's just a matter of time and when they're going to pull the trigger. Are they going to do it at Collision or are they going to do it Dynamite next week? And speaking of that, we get to hear from Mr. Hangman Adam Page, who, well, he's been on a interesting route. Oh my God! What? Would you put him with? Oh God! I love my Max Hester Devil. Why would you put him against Hangman? Part of me wishes it was Orange Cassidy that's faced Hangman. Where's my orange? Oh God. Oh my goodness. Well, I did say a couple weeks ago I will support Bowens and Caster no matter what. But Caster had interesting words to say to Hangman, Adam Page. So yeah, we'll see about that. Because I will say this, even though my clients are not the Acclaimed anymore, I still love them no matter what. Because in fact, I actually met both of them in person separately. I met Caster in December of 2023. And I met Anthony Bowens last month in New Jersey, my home state. So they have a special place in my heart. But I am happy to see Max on TV a little bit more on airtime. We just need to get Anthony on TV time. So it's just a matter of time. But I do think they are definitely going to have a match at Revolution happening. So low key, that's going to be fire. But anyways, we get to switch to tag team action. Buddy Matthews, Brody King taking on Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. And I'm looking to see if Julia Hart's at ringside. Because I thought at least she would be at ringside, but... Oh yeah, I forgot. We get to see this creep. We get to see this creep again. I'm surprised he didn't run off. Well, he ran as fastly as he could with Kenny Omega came out. He ran. But yes, Boza, he's back. I forgot he had to come back too for this tag team match. So yeah. So it's actually gonna be a fun tag team match. A little bit of a warm-up match for Takeshita and Fletcher right before their match at Grand Slam. So I know Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega will be watching this. And as I mentioned, Julia Hart's not at ringside. So it looks like Brody and Buddy are going to be on their own. So we have to deal with this creep at ringside. And oh, yeah, we got to listen to commentary. Yippee. But I hope you guys are enjoying AEW Dynamite. We're almost completing hour 1. Where has the time gone? Oh, and just a friendly reminder, once Dynamite is over, we're going to switch over to our post show, which will be on the same link. So there's no change in the channel, nothing, any of that. It's going to be all in the same link. So you don't want to miss the post show where we talk about the aftermath, some matches, and what do we think's going to happen next, where we're on not only the road to Grand Slam Australia, but also the road to Revolution. So don't want to miss on that. And we're kicking it off. Tag team action. Kyle Fletcher taking on Buddy Matthews. Aussie versus Aussie. How fun is that? All right, both of them have a headlock with each other. Also, feel free in the chat on who you think is going to win this tag team match, because this is going to be a really good international tag team match. So feel free to put in the chat. Ooh, Buddy. They're both even, Buddy and Kyle. Here comes Takeshita. Well, here comes Brody. Here comes Brody. Hi, Eddie Foster. Thank you for joining on this watch along for AEW Dynamite. In case you did not know, we are in an international tag team match. Buddy Matthews and Brody King taking on Kyle Fletcher and the AEW International Champion Konosuke Takeshita. And oh yeah, we got that creep Don Callis doing commentary. Second time he's out here, but yay, who's counting? But this is a really good, solid tag team match. And here comes Brody. Ooh, nasty hit. West Side Gun. Oh, I can imagine how West Side Gun's going to be when Swerve comes out. That's going to be insane. Oh my God, they're showing that replay again with Brody sandwiching Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. And in case you wouldn't know, we are already on the final hour of AEW Dynamite. And after 9 o'clock, crazy. I have to say, I'm really happy AEW is in smaller venues, and the crowd in Atlanta is insane. And also, they've been spoiled with a lot of wrestling shows the last couple days. They were at Raw, they were at NXT, and now they have Dynamite. So they've been spoiled with a lot of good wrestling shows. But I'm not complaining. It's just always a good feeling to see this. But even though it's in picture-in-picture, the match is still going on live, which is great. So just kind of getting a little update in, and it looks like Kyle Fletcher, of course, he's taunting the crowd. He fell on the floor. So in the ring right now is Brody King and Takeshita. Let me say, the Royal Rumble was incredible Saturday night. Before then, I went to WrestleCon and got an autographed picture with Tommy Dreamer. Indianapolis showed up and showed out. Eddie, that's really awesome that you got to do the Royal Rumble. That is pretty awesome. And it's so great you did WrestleCon. It is so awesome that you did WrestleCon. That is amazing. Also, I really happy, and I always love it when people get to experience live wrestling shows, whether it's the Big Four pay-per-view at WWE or just any type of pay-per-view, or even like a Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. It's definitely the way to go, especially on the AEW front. Like anywhere that you have a Dynamite, you have a Collision, you have a pay-per-view, just go. And also, it's just a incredible experience, especially if there's like a WrestleCon or somewhere of a type of meet and greet. You got to go. You have to go. And it is great. So I always recommend on that. And it's just really nice to be with all of you on this time, especially on AEW Dynamite. Ooh, excuse me. With all of you, because it is definitely fun. And I am very grateful that you've welcomed me with open arms as your PR princess, Stone Cold, the timeless elite. It has been really fun because since I started doing these watch-alongs for AEW Dynamite, a lot of people have been watching the Dynamite since I started doing them. They've been watching that. They've been following a little bit of Collision, even when I do the pay-per-views. So I am grateful for all of you, and I am only just getting started, and I would not change it for the world. But anyways, the match is still picture-in-picture, but the match is still going on. Takeshita and Brody are still in the match. Buddy trying to see if he can the tag. Kyle Fletcher is taunting Brody King. You don't want to taunt Brody. That's the one thing I will say. My only disappointment was at the WWE Superstore. They didn't have no Pentamat. Yeah, that's always hard because you want a merchandise that you want so badly, but then it's not there. So, but Eddie, I'm happy you got to experience the Royal Rumble, and it's really good. Also, we are back live from Atlanta, Georgia. And if you're joining me right now, we have tag team action. We have Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, taking on Buddy Matthews and Brody King. This has been a fun one. Ooh, a nice punch by Brody. And also, I tend to forget that creep Dog Callis. He's on commentary, but who am I to say? Hey, glad that content creators like you are around. Watch alongs are so much fun. Exactly. They're really, I try to make this watch along fun as possible and always try to bring a lot of analytical things, because a lot of times people bash AEW and they say like so much negativity. They never point out the good things that are happening at AEW. I would love for them to be successful, but I have to give up my constructive criticism on what's working and what's not working. And when I am in PR princess mode, I have to think like, what can they do to be better? So for me, that's always a treat to have. And I'm very happy I get to share this watch along with all of you. And like I said, we are in the final hour of Dynamite. Just to let you know, we got a main event. Swerve Strickland, Ricochet, also my client, the timeless one, Toni Storm, taking on Queen Amanada with Mariah May doing on commentary. And we also get to hear from MJF as well. Yes, you get to hear from one jerk to another jerk, MJF. We also get to hear from Adam Page, and we got to see one of my clients, Max Caster, interacting with him. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to watch. And Renee. Oh God. Yeah, Boza, it's been a fun first hour. Like, Atlanta really showed up. It's been so fun. Ooh, look at Buddy. He just it looks like he's not breaking a sweat. Two Aussies going at it. Buddy and Kyle Fletcher from the land down under. I know my horrible Aussie accent's not that great, but I try to do as much as I can. But Kyle Fletcher trying to get that for hand. Buddy countered. Ooh. Ooh, nice. I am so happy Buddy Matthews is getting his shot against Okada at Grand Slam. I want him to be Continental Champion. Just get that belt off Okada for all I care. Will we get your thoughts on Grand Slam next week if the card's finalized before the show on Sunday? Yes. Yes, Boza. You will definitely get my thoughts next week, because I will definitely be doing a watch along next Wednesday on AEW Dynamite. You'll be getting my thoughts there. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. Hopefully they have it wrapped up. But also, crap, before I forget next week, because it looks like we're going to have a Tuesday Night War next week. Oh, speaking of that, here comes the Rainmaker. He's trying to play some mind games to Buddy Matthews ahead of their match at Grand Slam, but he's nowhere to be found. I just hear his music. And Kyle Fletcher's trying to take advantage of that. Here comes Brody. Double team. Ooh! Takeshita stopped it. Ugh. Takeshita's trying to put a Buddy. Here comes Brody. Here comes Kyle Fletcher. DDT. Is this it? Kick out by Brody. So close. This is actually a really good match. This is a really good tag team match, I have to say. Tag team to Brody King. This has to be it. And your winners of this match, Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita. So they needed that. They needed that match going into next weekend's Grand Slam Australia. Oh, we get to see that creep down Callis. Well, it's a small venue, unlike them going to State Farm Arena when you only have one side of the place. Yeah, exactly. So, Eddie, like, going your point, I'm really happy they are going to smaller venues because it does seem it's like so much light comes out of it. It makes me so happy to see. Anyways, they're showing highlights from Collision this past weekend. Samoa Joe and Hook got a win over Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian, but it looks like the damage has been done in the aftermath. The entire patriarchy took down Hook and Samoa Joe. So, far over from these two. So it looks like Hook and Samoa Joe in Christian Cage's locker room, but Nick Wayne, they're attacking Wayne Sabian, and it looks like Christian they're coming. He has a death wish. He has a death wish. They are looking for Christian. And remember, Christian still has that contract for an AEW World Heavyweight Championship opportunity. So him and Mother Wayne, I mean, they're looking scared. Oh my god. Oh, MJF. We get to see MJF. Well, you know, I do respect him as an athlete. He's a very talented athlete. Definitely had a solid reign as AEW World Heavyweight Champion, but he is a jerk. I just can't. Is the professor there? Yes, Lewis. Thank you for mentioning that. As I mentioned on WWT Live, the professor is there. He is attending AEW Dynamite in Atlanta. So I hope he has the wonderful time coming there. And oh yeah, let's hear what this jerk has to say. the two of them again. Well, just a little fact: MJF and Max Caster trained together. Oh man, I never. Oh, what did that mean to the two of them? Well, of course, we get Hangman. That's just me. They're gonna have a feud with each other, MJF and Hangman. So, oh boy, Hangman wants a piece of Caster. Oh boy. Oh, and we go from Hangman to Dustin. Oh, it's always a treat seeing Dustin Rhodes. Let's see what Mr. Dustin has to say, because he's been doing Ring of Honor work on Ring of Honor. He's one half of the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions with Sammy Guevara. So let's see what Mr. Dustin has to say. I wonder if he's going to mention about Cody. Mm-hmm. I wonder if he's gonna mention about Cody. I knew he was gonna mention about Cody. I knew he was gonna mention about Cody. I'm actually more intrigued with this. This is gonna be very intriguing. This is gonna be very, very intriguing to watch because Dustin and MJF, this will be very interesting. And man, not only took a shot at Dustin, you took a shot at Cody. And remember, Cody co-founded AEW, by the way, if you did not know that. So it's interesting that they're putting Cody's name. Oof. Nasty low blow. Boza, you'd have a point because I would not even know who would MJF would want a tag team. Why am I not surprised they took a shot at Cody? Well, yeah, exactly. It's like, it makes a lot of sense considering that is Dustin's baby brother. It's no surprise. Oh, and there's Christopher Daniels. Because he's supposed to be quote unquote retired. I don't think he's retired. But with and there's Jerry Lynn. He's trying to check in on Dustin. But this is gonna be an interesting swerve. Dustin and MJF. I could get with that. And then of course seeing my client Max Caster with Hangman. Oh man. But I love how they're teasing MJF versus Hangman. I love how they're teasing it a little bit. Because I could definitely see them going one-on-one somewhere down the line. Because if they really want All in Texas to be one of their biggest shows, I could probably see MJF and Hangman going at it at All In. To just really continue that long-term storytelling and just kind of sneakingly give us teasers. Wonder if they're saving MJF and Jeff Jarrett for Revolution. Both of that could be a possibility too, because Revolution is actually in a couple weeks. And we still don't have any matches announced yet. But I do see some storylines popping in between. So there's going to be some matches. I mean, we still don't know what's going to happen with Jon Moxley versus Adam Copeland. Possibly that could be a match. I'm trying to think of what other matches we could have. Because if my client Toni Storm wins at Australia, I don't know who would face her. That's the big old question. Because, you know, if she wins, she's a fighting champion. I don't know who would do it. I could see possibly Caster and Anthony Bowens going at it at Revolution. And I think low-key that could be really fire. I could possibly see them going either at Revolution or Dynasty at Philadelphia. But yeah, hopefully, I think after Grand Slam Australia, then we could probably see like what's going to happen at Revolution, because Grand Slam is next Saturday and we have a few matches announced on the card, but I love where this is going with some of the rivalries, but we shall see what's going to happen. At either show, do you put Bowens and Caster at 0 Hour or the show itself? I would put them at the show itself. I would not put him on 0 Hour. I would put that on the show itself because this is going to get very heated, so deep, and there's so much backstory into this. You have to put it on the main show. Have to. Because this is really low-key going to be fire. I just can't see them being wasted on 0 Hour because there's so much build up to this. And I think they really deliver a good, solid one-on-one match. I think it should be on the main show itself at either Revolution or Dynasty. But let's see it continue to build because we haven't seen Anthony. Yeah, that's a few you don't waste on 0 Hour. I was thinking main show itself. Done right. Yeah, but exactly. That's what I'm saying. And it's going to be hard for me because they're both of my clients. But like I said, I still love them no matter what. And I'm very, very proud of them, especially on the singles run. But it'll be long-term storytelling because they'll get back together in the long run because I do see a long-term storyline with the Hurt Syndicate and the Acclaim. But we'll talk about that in the post show because I did a little bit of booking in my head, but we shall see. And speaking of which, we got some ladies in action. We have the AEW Women's Champion, the Glamour Mariah May, doing commentary. My client, Toni Storm, taking on Queen Amanada. So, Tony Schiavone. Tony, be on your best behavior. And here is the Queen Amanada. And I just love her. She is just so athletic. And I think this is going to be a match. It's going to be a match between Queen Amanada and Toni Storm. And I am so happy for that. I just hope they get us enough time as they need for this match because this is going to be fire. And plus, this is WWE Talk, so we always represent for all the ladies. So, exactly, Boza. That's why Nigel is on Collision. Let Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, and Taz handle this. My client. Let's see what my client. So she's dressed up as Mariah May. Oh, my client. She put it on so well. With the exception of the red lipstick, by the way. But she just looks like her. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, man. It just would have been better if she had a replica of the AEW Women's Championship belt. And I just love it. Oh, my client. She's just she's just a star. And I have to say, she's a little bit I'm gonna have to say she is 10 times more hotter than Mariah May. she's a lot more hotter. I wonder what Professor is thinking live. I know, right? I just want to see the look on Professor's face, like, oh my God, what is happening? Well, Queen Amanada taking on Toni May, I would say. I'm trying to think what Queen Amanada is thinking right now. I'm just hoping she's not like breaking character because I know deep down she has to laugh at this. Oh, God. Well, here's my client, Toni May. Oh, boy. She is my client. Oh, man. Well, here we go. This is ladies matches. I'm gonna say Tony May, my client, taking on Queen Amanada. I have to figure out. Oh, and look who's watching, Serena Deebs. And you have to remember, she still has a bone to pick with Queen Amanada. So I would not be shocked if Queen Amanada interfered in the match. That a nasty slap to the face. Why do you have to slap the queen? I mean, that's my client and all, Tony, but why you gotta slap the queen like that? Come on. What did Queen Amanada do to you? Ooh. Ooh, hip attack. She just pulls up Mariah so well. You know what's interesting? I was gonna say she looks like Mariah May, but with the blonde hair and everything else. Ah! Queen Amanada, she's doing timeless. I just love it. I'm just loving all this. Oh my god! And she took out one of her extensions. I'm. Thank God this match is a picture-in-picture and the match is live. I can still watch this match. I know. You would think I would be expected. I know exactly, Boza. This is my client and all, but I know the ladies are trying to. But I know Mariah May has a deep down laugh at this, and Queen Amanada. I just give credit to these ladies. I don't know why, but like when I look at the blonde and everything else, Tony doesn't remind me of Mariah May. She actually, this is gonna sound crazy. Tony with this getup, she reminds me of Mandy Rose. Cause you remember what Mandy Rose looked like at NXT and WWE? She does resemble a little bit of Mandy Rose. I have to do like a picture-in-picture of her, and I have to do a picture-in-picture of Mandy Rose and Toni Storm as Mariah May. Because I feel like there is some predicament with them too. Oh my god. Kudos to Queen Amanada and Mariah May for staying in character doing this. Toni has gained a lot of confidence in AEW. Yeah, she has. She has. If you did not know my story, she's the woman that got me into AEW. I met her right after she was released from WWE. I got to meet her in meet and greet. A couple days later, she was on AEW, and she's the reason I got into AEW. So I'm very happy to say Toni Storm is the reason I watch AEW. So that's why she's my client, and she will always be for the rest of my life. And I applaud her for that. She could pull off Mandy Rose right now. That is freaking scary. You mean Mandy when she was a Toxic Attraction? Yup, Boza, exactly. Because I kept thinking that, and I was like, oh my god, she does resemble a little bit of Mandy Rose. I just said to myself that. I will say this is a really good, solid match between these two ladies. Oh man. This has just been a fun show on Dynamite. This is just, I think this is like one of the best episodes of Dynamite I've done. I have to say, this is like one of the best episodes of Dynamite of 2025 so far. This is truly a good episode. Yeah, Boza, I think I may have to do that next week for my watch along for Dynamite, because I'm not going to be on WWT Live on Friday, but I may do that next week. Yeah, this has been a fun episode of Dynamite. This is like so fun to watch. And we are back live. Ryan May's on commentary. She's taking on my client Tony May against Queen Amanada. And also remember, Serena Deebs is watching backstage because her and Queen Amanada still have a beef with each other. And I think another thing I would love to see from the women's division within AEW, I would like to see them create a lot more rivalries that actually don't involve any of the titles. So that's something I would like to see them do, because I do think they could build a lot of storylines within the women's division. It's just you have to figure out who's going to have the most chemistry. Oh man. Oof. Like a chop fest. Ooh, a slap to the face. Ooh. I know, saying Boza, I kind of have to watch this match again. And thankfully, I have Max, by the way. So I think I may watch this match later in the week. Hip attack by Queen Amanada. Oh my god, Queen Amanada's doing timeless. I'm sorry, but you need to put Queen Amanada more on Dynamite. Please start putting her on Dynamite. It doesn't have to be matches. Just give her a promo. Just give her a vignette. Put her on Dynamite. Please. Please, please, please. All right. Ooh, DDT. Hip attack. Is she going to go with Mayday? Mayday. This should be it. What? Oh, and my client. Oh my god, she does look like Mandy Rose. She does. Oh my god. She's oh my god. She looks like she could be Mandy Rose's long lost sister. I stand corrected, Queen up. Yeah, Queen Amanada. She's been putting the fight, but brava to my clients as Tony May, because next weekend, and we get to hear from her with the beautiful Renee Paquette. I hope Renee doesn't break character. Oh my god. You better. That's the way to do it. You got to play mind games with her. Got to play some mind games. I have to give credit to Renee, because for her not to break out in character throughout the night, from interacting with Harley Cameron and Mercedes to Hangman and Max Caster, and now this, I give credit to Renee for not breaking character. She is the MVP for tonight. I got to give kudos to Renee. My client's playing mind games. Sweetheart, Mariah, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Because my client's ready to make history. She's ready to become a 4-time AEW Women's Champion. And we get to hear from Dustin. Sorry, I'm just like trying to do double duty. But it looks like we're gonna have a Tuesday Night War next week. Because Dynamite's gonna be next Tuesday in Houston, Texas. Dustin Rhodes is challenging MJF next week. And also they're showing highlights from this past weekend Collision. Big Bill, Powerhouse Hobbs. That match is gonna be fire. If that match is not added onto Grand Slam, they gotta have a match at Revolution. Like, that match has to be on the main card at Revolution. How are you even going to handle that? Well, Bosa, before I answer your question, here is Chris Jericho. I have to stop everything what I'm doing. Ooh, well, right before that, it looks like Powerhouse Hobbs. He wants a piece of Big Bill. But also, it looks like Jericho's putting a bounty on Bandino. Brian Keith looks like he wants to take him out this Saturday on Collision. Interesting. So pretty much it's a 3-on-1. Oh, here comes the Outrunners. Because remember, the Outrunners had some business to deal with the Learning Tree last week. I meant let's pass Saturday on Collision. But yeah, it's pretty much. And I think Powerhouse Hobbs taking out security. I think it's going to be probably a 6-man tag. Either Possibly at Grand Slam, I could see Australia because I know they have to put more matches on the card. I wouldn't be mad about that. I would not be mad. What's Big Bill looking at? He stared at Powerhouse Hobbs. Yeah. It's like, no, I feel so bad for the security guard. It's like, anything you could do, I could do better. God. They're definitely going to have a one-on-one match. I can see it happening at Revolution. Just put him on the main card. Please. It is going to happen, and I will be 100% behind it. And here we go. And it's live on New York Minute, by the way, folks. Bosa, go back to your point. We're gonna probably handle this the same way we did when NXT and Dynamite went head to head when they were at 2300 last September. I mean, look, if we have to do both streams on the same day, I mean, we did it before, we can do it again. I can do my watch along for Dynamite on Tuesday. He can do his watch along for NXT. So, and plus it'll be a fun Tuesday Night War. I mean, come on. It'll be fun. It'll be all fun and games just to see what we do, and let's go. And oh my God, I feel so bad for the cameraman at this point. That match is going to be mayhem. They're going to have a match. With the stipulation, no way Powerhouse Hobbs will fight Pharaoh in a one-on-one match. Exactly. They're going to have a match at Revolution. Just give them a Falls Count Anywhere match. Just give them a street fight. Oh my God. Just give them a Los Angeles street fight, I would say, at Revolution. My God. That would be insane. Oof. Oof. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's pretty funny. Double the fun. Appreciate when you and Councilman can do both shows on Tuesday. Both shows will go home on Tuesday. Yeah, exactly. Because it'll be great. I mean, look, if I have to do what, it'll be. So, hey, look, it's going to be a Tuesday Night War. I mean, it's not the first time we went head to head, but I'm ready. He's ready. Let's go. And then get ready for both shows. Vengeance is on Saturday along with Grand Slam Australia. So it'll be coming to you from Houston, Texas, which is actually not far from where All in Texas is going to be. So that's going to be very interesting. And I actually do love it that they have Collision on Saturday, which is also going to be in Houston. So at least it's in the same city and they don't have to do a lot of traveling. So at least they're in Houston area. So smart. That's very smart. A boss man to do. Very, very smart. But anyways, we're almost at the end of AEW Dynamite. This has been a fun episode. Especially coming from Atlanta. This has been really, really fun. And we have one more match. And that is the main event. Swerve Strickland, Ricochet. It's not over between these two. I think these guys are definitely going to have a match. But this whole rivalry with them, this is far from over. Because as I mentioned earlier, Swerve still has a bone to pick with the Hurt Syndicate. They still have a bone to pick. There's just so many layers to this. It's insanity. But let's enjoy the ride. Don't make any speculation. It's going to be a very fun one, and I'm very excited for this. But I just want to thank everybody for joining on this watch along for AEW Dynamite. Also, do not go anywhere because we will be having a post show afterwards on this. So, oh God, and there's still chaos after this. The learning tree with the outrunners, the powerhouse pops. Oh my God, this is just chaos. And here comes Swerve Strickland. It's main event time. Everybody's going on their feet for Swerve. And here comes Nana, which is coffee. I have to do it. Swerve when I drive. I just had to do it. Oh man. And I do like the attire that he has. Wonderful reception for Swerve Strickland. I don't even have my shades on, but yeah. Oh man. Oh, ooh. Ricochet ain't wasting no time. I actually kind of like this. He's not wasting any time. Hitting him in the back with a steel chair. And look at Nana. They should have made this a no disqualification match. I don't think you should have made it one-on-one. But yeah, Ricochet's not wasting any time. He wants. That's a very sneaky and smart thing to do. But we shall see. But guys, it's main event time. Yeah, thank you for the update, Boza. I kind of figured that because that's going to have a conclusion. And of course, as usual, it's going to have an overrun. But as I said, do not go anywhere because there will be a quick post show afterwards when this is over. So it'll be the same link. You do not have to change links. And I'm going to do a quick run through of tonight's post show because this was actually a very fun and solid episode of Dynamite so far in 2025. And it's only February. It's only February. But as I mentioned, here we go. Main event for Dynamite. Ricochet taking on Swerve Strickland. And I do see Westside Gunn at ringside cheering on his guy, Swerve Strickland. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Ooh, double drop kick. Double drop kick. Ooh, here we go. Oof. Nana taking the rope. Oh boy. What's Ricochet gonna do here? And you're doing it right in front of Westside Gunn. Here we go. Oh, that was a nasty. Oh my god. That was a nasty bump. Ricochet took on the back. He's gonna need an ice bath and a deep tissue massage on this. That's why Swerve is the most dangerous man in AEW. Because of stuff like this. My god. Oh, that has to hurt. If anybody tells you that wrestling is fake, go have them see that clip along with any montage that Darby Allin has done, any montage within WWE. Go show them that clip. Oof. Ooh, that was a nasty. Nasty to the shoulder. Exactly, Eddie Foster. Nobody gets hurt in pro wrestling. Sure, they don't. Exactly. If anybody ever says that, go show them that clip. I couldn't even tell you. But thankfully, this match isn't picture in picture, and the match is still going on live. So that's a blessing. Ah! Swerve Strickland slapped the baldness out of Ricochet on his bald head. Oh man, we knew these two were gonna deliver, but this will not be the last time you see these two. And also considering the fact you'll add the Hurt Syndicate in because Swerve still has a bone to pick. And it's a possibility the Hurt Syndicate may add a new member. So. Swerve is just slapping his bald head itself. Like your mama would slap you if you do something if you're in trouble. That's how I feel. Oh god. Oh my goodness. I'm just cracking up so much. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Atlanta has done it. Oh man. Well, this is the final match. This match is still going to continue until we get a winner. So, oh my god. Oh my god. So we're back live with the main event. Ricochet taking on Swerve Strickland. Oh man. Ooh, nice counter. It's so ironic. These two know each other so well, going back to the Independent and Lucha Underground days. So crazy. Ricochet though, well, you don't give a low blow to Swerve. He knows the tricks all way too well. You can't pull it all on him. Can't fool him. He knows every dirty trick in the book. Ooh, look at him. Is it gonna be a house call? The crowd is going nuts for him. Swerve stomp. Is this it? Kick out by Ricochet on the Swerve stomp. Wow. Oof. Oh, it looked like a nasty little bump. Ooh. Nasty hit outside the ring onto Swerve. Kick out by Swerve. Ooh. Is this it? Kick out by Swerve. Ooh, house call. This has to be it. This has to be it. It looks like a low blow. It looks like he gave a low blow. Man. And you look at that. Ricochet. Not only that, Ricochet pinned a former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And it looks like it's a war with his jacket. Oh, why you guys shove Prince Nana? And he took Swerve's jacket. That is cynical heel tactic right there. Other than that, you pinned a former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Oh, man. But it has been confirmed next Tuesday. It'll be Dustin Rhodes versus MJF from Austin, Texas. So at least they have one match down for next week. But, oof. Interesting way to end Dynamite from Atlanta. Interesting. Interesting way to end Dynamite, folks. But, woo, that was interesting. But we still have a post show happening. But, wow, I'm just out of my mind. I'm just out of my mind right now. Okay. Let me get myself, turn off my TV. Okay, so we have a post show happening, but let me get my banner. And give me at least 30 seconds to get ready, because get yourself a quick beverage, get a quick to the bathroom, because we're going to be doing a post show really quick. So give me at least 30 seconds to prepare, and we can talk about tonight's show on Dynamite from Atlanta. All right, you guys. So, switching over to the post show of AEW Dynamite, coming to you from Hotlanta. Wow, this has been a very, very fun episode to have. We kicked off with a little bit of mayhem between the Death Riders, Rated FTR, and Switchblade Jay White. It was pretty much mayhem. We have another match thrown on the table for Grand Slam Australia. Jay White and Adam Copeland taking on Claudio Castagnoli and Jon Moxley in a tag team match. We don't know if that's official yet, but hopefully in the coming days, because Grand Slam Australia is right around the corner. It's next weekend. And also, Adam Copeland put a challenge into Jon Moxley to challenge him for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship at Revolution. Jon Moxley said no, but Copeland's going to keep on getting him until he says yes. So that's a match that's going to be in Revolution. It's just a matter of when they're going to make it official. So we shall see on that. We kicked off with Will Ospreay, the aerial assassin, taking on a fifth member of the Don Callis family. We also had that creep Don Callis at ringside, and it turned out to be Mark Davis. He turned out to be Mark Davis, his former tag team partner, which is very, very interesting and a complete left field, because I did not know who was going to be it, but it was a pretty solid match. I was very happy to see a lot of offense between both of them, and the winner of the match was Will Ospreay. So I was very surprised and did not expect that because Mark Davis just was alongside Will Ospreay when they took on the Don Callis family. So, but we shall see. And also for me, I actually kind of low key like this with the Don Callis family and Will Ospreay and everything happening. I kind of like that. So I really thought that was going to be fire. That's okay, Boza, because like I said, it's not official yet, but Jay White put out the gauntlet, but we shall see what happens. But just as Don Callis was trying to beat up Will Ospreay, we saw Kenny Omega come out. Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay had some words to say to their match ahead of Grand Slam next weekend. So that has been really fun. We also get to see tag team action between Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita as they took on Brody King and Buddy Matthews, and that was a sleeper match of the night. That, and anybody knows me knows I love tag team wrestling, and this was a really good, solid tag team wrestling sleeper match of the night. Julia Hart was not at ringside, but we got to listen to Don Callis do commentary. But it was a very fun match. But the winner of the match was Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita, where they had to build up momentum heading into Grand Slam next weekend. So we got to see a lot of them. We also got to see the Hurt Syndicate come out, really making their mark as AEW Tag Team Champions. And we got to see Austin and Colton Gunn. Yeah, we got to see them because they were injured, and they did make a point on being former tag team champions. So they put up the gauntlet next week, the Hurt Syndicate, putting those tag team titles on the line against Austin and Colton Gunn. And this was something that I was really thinking in my head because, of course, the Hurt Syndicate is gonna, I would love to see them challenge like either the Gates of Agony, Archer and Brian Cage, the Grizzled Young Veterans, possibly a rematch with Private Party, the Outrunners. They're going to go through the tag teams. They really are, starting with Austin Colton Gunn. But the thing that really stuck in my head, because we always talked about long-term storytelling, and I kept thinking in my head, because I know my clients, the Acclaim, they're in solos, but I think this is going to be long-term storyline, because I think we're going to see a future feud between the Hurt Syndicate and the Acclaim. And the reason I say that is because when MVP was giving out his business cards, he gave it to the Acclaim. He didn't give it to Top Flight. He didn't give a card to Private Party. And you notice there was a dark cloud. And also taking away the biggest threat to the tag team division, the winningest tag team in AEW. And please don't give me that match from January 1st, because one, that match was a complete joke. And also, Anthony and Max, they were not in synergy together. Like when they're on the same page, they have the synergy, that is when they thrive. So I had to think long-term storyline with this, because I do see somewhere down the line they are going to reunite, and they're going to be in a feud with the Hurt Syndicate, because with the fact MVP wanted to take out the biggest threat to the tag team belt. So I could see the Hurt Syndicate wiping out the floor on mostly all the tag teams, including, I'm also going to possibly add an FTR and the Young Bucks, which would be kind of funny to see, because I would like to see them get squashed. But isn't that bad? But I do think long-term storylines, we are going to see the Acclaimed and the Hurt Syndicate, because there is a lot of unfinished business with them, and that is somewhere down the line. But that's for future purposes. But right now, focusing on the present, and we got to hear from Hangman Adam Page. You know, he was talking about Christopher Daniels and trying to have feelings for it. The man's trying to have interviews, but he got interrupted by my client, Max Caster, which, if you saw throughout the night, he was chasing him, and he interrupted MJF's interview. But we're definitely going to see a match between those two, and those two are not strangers to each other. So I am happy Max is getting a lot more airtime on TV. Like I said, Bowens and Caster's definitely, that feud's going to be a little key fire. I could see possibly happening either at Revolution or Dynasty. And it should be on the main card. But I can't wait to see them go at it. This is low-key going to be really good. And teasing us with Hangman versus MJF. And speaking of MJF, of course, we got to hear from him. Dustin came out defending Jeff Jarrett, talking about the struggles he had to face. And it's no surprisingly, MJF had to reference his baby brother, Cody. Not surprised there. But next week, actually next Tuesday, it'll be Dustin Rhodes taking on MJF from Austin, Texas. And that match is definitely going to be very, very solid. We also got to see the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho, and he threw out the gauntlet where Bandito, because Bandito wants his Ring of Honor World Championship. So he put out a proposal for the Bad Apple Brian Keith to take out Bandito. And we saw a lot of mayhem between the Learning Tree against Powerhouse Hobbs and the Outrunners. And I do think they're going to have a tag team match, possibly at Grand Slam Australia. If not in Collision, it's going to happen probably in Australia. And I do see Hobbs and Big Bill having a match either possibly at Revolution. I do see that match, and I don't think it's going to be a one-on-one. It's going to be pretty much mayhem. So we got to see that. We got to see Hook and Samoa Joe, and they wanted to send a message to Christian Cage. So they beat up on his little minions, Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne, and that's going to continue to kind of go in there. So trying to make sure I go through most of the matches. I know there's a few that you guys mentioned, but I will make sure I hit every single point. And of course, this is a favorite for me, and I don't want to sound biased because she's my client, but my client, Toni Storm, was dressed up as Mariah May, and she went in against Queen Aminata. I got to give credit to Queen Aminata and Mariah May for not breaking character, because that was hilarious. Yes, Boza, I meant to say Tony May. I just cracked up so much throughout the night. But that was a good, solid match between these two ladies. And I have to watch it again because they really did deliver. Even Queen Aminata was doing the timeless pose. It was just so fun to watch. And I really did enjoy it between those two ladies. It's just, they delivered. Of course, after the match, Renee tried to get an interview saying, how could they stay in character? It's amazing. I have to watch it on Max later. They delivered, but I couldn't. I know, exactly. And Renee tried to get an interview with Tony May, but my client, she's going to be a 4-time AEW Women's Champion. Mariah May, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. My client's making history. And so proud of her. I have to give credit to Renee for being the MVP. I don't know how she managed to stay in character between that, doing an interview with Hangman and Max Caster, and also I cannot forget Harley Cameron, how she kept a straight face. And that puppet with Mercedes is so cute. It just looks like Mercedes. And of course, we got to see the TBS champion, and she had some more to say. And it's I just have to say, Mercedes, you may have your next competitor at Grand Slam. And I put the bold prediction on WWT Live. I put the bold prediction a couple of weeks ago. Harley Cameron is going to be the next TBS champion at Grand Slam Australia. I said what I said, and it's going to happen. Because soon enough, Mercedes is going to have to say yes to Harley. And Harley did pick up her first win this past weekend on Collision against Taya Valkyrie. So everybody should feel the wrath of Harley Cameron. So went to... I can see it. Harley should beat Mercedes. Australia. There's a challenge. Exactly. And speaking of that, we also have a match confirmed for Grand Slam Australia. Buddy Matthews is coming home to Australia to take on Kazuchika Okada for the AEW Continental Championship match. Personally, I really want Buddy Matthews to win. I want Buddy Matthews to get singles gold. If they want to make Okada and Kenny Omega the marquee match at All In Texas, Okada has to drop the belt. Like, give it to somebody. I would love for it to be Buddy Matthews. So I'm happy Buddy Matthews is going back to his home country. And I would just love to see some title changes at Grand Slam Australia. But we went through everything else, and it's the main event. Swerve Strickland taking on Ricochet. Oh, these guys are no strangers to each other. From the Lucha Underground days, independent days, these guys know each other very well. And in the end result, Ricochet beat Swerve Strickland. Ricochet pinned a former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. That's a bold statement. But it's not over between these two because he took his jacket. And that's a dastardly, dirty trick to do. Ricochet jumped Swerve while Nana was going to church. That is an upset for sure. Bold win. Yeah, it's a bold win. I mean, you pinned a former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. That is crazy. So, with those two, it's far from over. There's going to be a lot more developing, and I could see them going round 2 at Revolution. Because, like I said earlier, Swerve still has some unfinished business with the Hurt Syndicate. It's a possibility Ricochet may be joining. We don't know. So let's see how this storyline progresses, and curious on where this is going to go. But the road to Grand Slam Australia seems to be shaping up. I am very happy to spend time with all of you on this edition of Dynamite. And for this edition, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. And I don't usually give out 10s, but this episode was completely a 10 out of 10 across the board. And there was so much mayhem, so many storylines developing, and just love the synergy of everything else. I have to give tonight's episode 10 out of 10. And the crowd in Atlanta was just feeling it throughout the whole night. And that's the first time I ever gave a 10 out of 10 on any episode of Dynamite. So I give it a solid 10 out of 10. It's definitely been fun, and I'm very happy to spend time with all of you on this special edition of Dynamite. Have to give a shout out to Lewis Johnson, Boza, Junk Punch Hero, Seth freaking Rollins, Danny Lombo, Eddie Foster for joining. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody, but I do. It's crazy. Like, I very rarely give a 10 out of 10. And yes, our own professor was at the show live, so we get to hear his thoughts as anyways, and it's just been so fun. Thank you guys, everybody, for really joining on this watch along for Dynamite. I will not be on WWT Live on Friday, but I will be back on Monday. I'll be back on Monday, and it looks like a friendly reminder, we're going to have a Tuesday Night War. So next Tuesday, it'll be NXT going up against AEW Dynamite head-to-head, and it's going to be a fun Tuesday Night Wars. I cannot wait. I don't know what other matches are going to be there, but I'm excited. I'm very, very much excited for this. I truly am. The road to Grand Slam is starting to shape up pretty good. You can always follow me. You can always catch me here on WWT Live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will not be on Friday this week. You can also follow me on @CourtneyNJ11 on all the socials on Twitter and Instagram as well. And I didn't mention this earlier, but I will be doing a live Instagram Q&A with a fellow pageant sister of mine, because I also do pageants as well. Like me, she's a huge fan of professional wrestling, and we're going to have a Q&A to talk about our journey into pageantry, our love for professional wrestling, because we are a special breed and you don't see that many often. So please make sure to check it out. I want to thank everybody for joining, and also definitely make sure to check out the other watch alongs we have. We have Honey Night SmackDown happening on Friday. We got Monday Night Mare with our very own Mare. Tuesday Night Pharaoh with our Councilman handling NXT. And of course, you have me on handling AEW Dynamite. So it has been a fun night, a fun Wednesday, just a fun Dynamite all around. So I wish you guys a wonderful evening. If you're watching the Super Bowl, feel free to check it out this weekend, and make sure to follow WWT, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Have a good evening, and I will see you next week.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at wwtalkpod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at wwtalkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.